Hello, I'm Don Hammock, Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bulldog Blitz. It was an ecstatic ALMA Memorial Stadium tonight where the Bulldogs knocked off number 4 Jones 38-24 to claim Gulf Coast's fourth straight MACCC South championship. We're going to talk with head coach Jack Wright, defensive lineman Torren Coppage-El, and tight end Katie Wells while we take a look at some highlights. Later on, we'll introduce you to defensive lineman Ricardo Williams while we play 10 questions. And lastly, tennis coach Sam Blackburn will introduce you to his 2023 men's and women's tennis team. Stick around. Here on the field with Gulf Coast head coach Jack Wright, 4 straight South State championships. Y'all kind of did it the hard way, but I think it shows a lot about the team, the way y'all were able to battle back and then knock out the number 4 team in the country.
That's what I told the team in the huddle after the game. Love these guys. Some teams are just, physically bigger, better, and faster, and they don't have to have gut checks like this or like we had against Colin. We've got a really, really good team and a lot of good players. But you're right, we put ourselves in a bind a couple of times, and these guys have come back swinging every single time. And, you typically love players because of what they can do for you physically, but these guys are mentally tough. They've had their oil checked and just so proud of them for passing the test.
There were a lot of times this year they could have checked out. There were times in this game they could have checked out. I think that tonight was kind of a microcosm of the season.
Yep.
You get behind, you get a chance to tie it up right before half, can't pull it off, just bang, bounce right back and then keep rolling in the second half.
Yeah, it just felt like we could move the ball all night. Just calling plays from the sideline. It just felt like our base stuff was working. Let's let our guys play fast so that they know what to do. They can play fast. What you saw tonight was just execution by players. There was nothing fancy about what was called. Nothing really new was in. Just our guys playing fast and executing, what we've been running all year.
You had almost 500 total yards offense, but let's start on the other side of the ball. The regulators, like we mentioned, first half, never really stopped Jones, 24 points, and then everything changed in the second half. They wound up with 55 total yards, no points.
Could not be prouder of them. Really, really sinking feeling in the first half. Just felt like Jones was overpowering us, and that was surprising because we got a really good defensive front. But we felt like we were overpowered, and maybe they were playing a step faster than us. But in the second half, it just was a completely different feeling. It just felt like they were going to struggle to get yards. They were going to struggle to score, and they did. So I don't know. There was really no magic speech. There was nothing really, newsworthy to say about what happened at halftime. I just think our players got it in their mind that they were going to make some stops, and they did.
There was definitely a big change. Y'all were able to get in the backfield in the second half, force some tackles for losses, and they were punting, the first 2 or 3 possessions of the second half and never put up any points. And like you said, it's just a total flip, and the gears shifted.
They did. Just football is a game of momentum. I've been on both sides of it as a coach.
You've been on both sides of it this year.
This year, we've had momentum and we've lost it, and we've seen other teams gain it. So we had a lot of momentum tonight. We never really lost it offensively. The offensive coach in me wishes maybe we could have just kept the pedal to the metal even in the fourth quarter, but it became about pounding out first downs and getting some clock management handled there. So we did that. Just really proud of the team. Just an all-around team win. Our O-line played really well. Cam played really well. Pat had a great game. Our receivers made plays. And the defense in the second half was just, they were lights out.
Cam had almost 200 yards rushing. You were able to run the ball, which is obviously a huge deal when you're running the offense. Just talk about the running game a little bit.
Cam's been here 3 years. Had an injury last year and was not able to finish the season, so he's had some disappointment. He's had to share his opportunities with other really good running backs, which is what happens at this level. But tonight I saw something different in his eye before the game. He had a really good week of practice. Just felt like he was going to give Gulf Coast his all tonight, and he did. Played really hard. the kid deserved a great game like this in the spotlight, and he came through.
Two receivers I want to talk about. Kamari Odom, I think he had double-digit receptions. He was just everywhere, making catches, converting first downs. He was really good.
Kamari's had a great year. He's been a clutch football player. Go back and look at a lot of the critical plays we've made and some big wins, and he's in there somewhere in every single game. Just couldn't be prouder of him. Again, he was here last year, had to share his opportunities with somebody else who's had a great sophomore season and been a great player for us and been a great leader.
And Ramon Bradley was the other one, had two big touchdown catches, first two scores of the second half that got y'all out in front. He's just a dangerous player.
Ramon's an electric football player, dangerous in space. One-on-one, he creates a lot of problems. So he's just a great player. We knew he was when we got him here. It's just taken a little bit longer this season for him to come around and start making the plays that we knew he could. But we knew we had something special in him this summer when we started working out with him. But, sometimes a guy's first year in college, playing at this level, it takes time to get comfortable and get in the swing of things. He is now, and he's making the plays that we knew he could.
And none of that happens without the O-line. I think they kept Pat clean all night. He had to scramble a couple times when he didn't find anything open downfield, but I don't think he got sacked. Those guys did a great job, obviously, pass protection and running the ball.
I don't know the exact numbers, Don, but I'm pretty sure we were very balanced. And when that happens, it goes to some domination up front when you're able to hand off and gain yards, and then also keep the quarterback clean. We've had a really, really young O-line coming into the season, and it took a little bit of time for them to gel. Knew we had a lot of talent up there, some big guys that can move and can finish blocks. But getting those five guys to work together, those five positions to work together and gel like they've done here at the end of the season has been a really, really fun process to watch come to fruition.
That sets up, you get the number one seed, so we'll be playing at home the rest of the year. I think we're going to get East Mississippi again next week. What are y'all going to be doing this week?
They've got a very dangerous passing game. We saw it, firsthand. A bunch of dynamic receivers and skilled players on offense. So we've got a huge challenge just to try to limit what they're able to do on offense. And that was really, the story of tonight too. We figured out a way in the second half to limit Jones's opportunities. So we've got to go in. We know obviously we'll watch the last game. We've already watched it, but we'll go try to figure out where some mistakes happen, see what we can fix. I'm sure they will do the same thing. The second time you play, it's almost never the same story. That doesn't mean that we're going to win, but it means the game's probably going to play out a lot differently, I would guess. Just from experience playing some teams twice in the season, that second time around, there's both coaching staffs are really good. They'll make some adjustments, and so we'll kind of have to feel each other out a little bit in the game next week.
You always talk about how hard the MACCC South is. Now you've won it 4 straight years. What does that say about the program?
MACCC South is a very, very tough division in football. A lot of really good coaches, a lot of really good players. Work against them every year. For us to come out on top 4 years in a row, I could not be prouder of where this program is. The work of our assistant coaches, Coach Bryant, Coach Smith, Coach Schufelt, Coach McCray, Coach Louvier, Coach Chavis, Coach McDougal, and Coach Luckett. I owe the world to those guys. They make me look good. They're the ones that are doing the real work out there, working with these players and getting them better every day. So I owe a lot to my coaching staff. Though most of those guys have been with me for 4 years, and I'm really proud for them to share this championship with the program.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you.
Here on the field with defensive lineman Torren Coppage-El from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Torren, huge win for you guys. What does it feel like, South State champions?
It's just great to be playing next week. Like, a lot of people counting us out, but we believe. So it just felt great to execute.
Yeah, you get your third loss a few weeks ago. It looked like you might be in big trouble, might not make the playoffs, and now you're the South State champs and going to get to host. So that says a lot about this team, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. We plan to keep the streak going, too.
First half, Jones scores 24 points. Y'all didn't really get them stopped at all. What changed for y'all in the second half?
Well, we went into halftime. We had a little brotherhood speech, same as we did in Colin, and we just clicked. We made some adjustments and just played hard. We brought a lot of juice.
Y'all were able to get them in third downs and get them stopped, get them off the field, and the offense just kept on rolling. What'd you see from them?
We just fed off the offense. Really, they just kept trying to run the same scheme. We adjusted good and just made plays. Just played up to our potential.
What specifically, what kind of adjustments did y'all make to get them stopped?
We went on fourth down. It allowed for our edges to get more one-on-ones, and then we played the run way better out of it. So it's a great adjustment.
Going to have a big game next week. I think it's going to be East Mississippi. It'll be a chance for some revenge. What are you looking forward to next week?
Can't wait. You know, I can't believe we got the one up at home, but we got a second chance. That's rare, so we look to execute.
All right. Torren Coppage-El, a big part of a defense that held Jones to 55 yards in the second half. Congratulations, Torren.
Thank you.
Here on the field with tight end KD Wells. KD, the offense was fantastic tonight. What did it feel like out there just knowing that y'all are just going to keep rolling?
Man, it's a good feeling, man. Week in, week out, we work hard every day, every night, man. So, I mean, we work for this.
What you guys come in, a few weeks ago, lose a third game of the season. Things don't look very good. How did the team kind of rally to get to this point, be South State champs?
I feel like that moment we grew together, you know what I'm saying? We're very talented when we're young also. That moment right there, we put everything together and glued together, made a brotherhood with this right here.
You're part of the running game. You're part of the passing game. Cam had 191 yards, I think, on the ground. Y'all had 200 yards on the ground total. What was it like blocking up front for him today?
It's fun, man. I call him nephew, man. We play together, all-star game. Now we playing again in college. It's a good feeling. I love blocking for him. I looser back. I love blocking for him, man. All the backs, T-Train, Zay, every single one of them.
And you're in the passing game, too. You had a big conversion there, a 10-yard catch to convert a first down. What was working in the passing game for y'all?
Everything. I mean, like, our receiving core is like one of the best I ever seen my own two. I feel like Ramon Bradley, Kamari, Cyrus, Rico, all of it. It's hard to go in one-on-one. You have me with my number call, ready to make a play anytime.
And none of that happens without the offensive line, which you're also a part of.
Yeah.
What was it like up front for y'all tonight?
Those guys, they hungry, man. Every week we say, hey, guy, got a big task coming up. If we lose, it's because of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Even though we don't really mean it, it fill them guys up. Tonight you seen how they play their butt off.
Y'all kept Pat clean for the night. I don't know that he was sacked once. He had to scramble a little bit and was able to turn some scrambles into some first down. So y'all did it all the way around. Regulators had a rough first half. What did you see from them in the second half?
Man, I was just telling T, that was the worst time they ever played, but it could get any worse. I was confident they're going to have down 17-24, but I believe them guys because they couldn't play any worse. We had their back, like they had our back previous game before we got their back. So, I mean, yeah, I believe them guys from the jump.
All right, you guys got a big game next week, playoff game here at Perk. What are you going to be doing this week to get ready?
First, get some rest tomorrow, and then preparation from now on.
All right, congratulations, KD.
Thank you, man.
I'm Ricardo Williams from Jackson, Mississippi. I went to Provine High School. At Provine, it's traditionally a sports school. It's a good support system. I like going to school there. The whole community behind you. My family was very supportive. And, Jackson what it is, it's dangerous. Just gotta make it out, stay down and keep grinding. Started playing football when I was 7 years old. I started playing for the Jackson Steelers. And we practiced at Chastain Middle School in North Jackson. We was a successful program, won many championships, even traveled outside of Mississippi to play a lot of teams. So that's where my love of the game comes from. It just grew from there. I love football because it gives you something to do every day. It gives you structure. Also, football is very fun. You can take out all your anger legally on someone And also, it's just nothing like football in life, man. It's just football, you know, before the game, the crowd, just the whole atmosphere just give you thrills. And you can't get that, like Coach Wright said, you can't get that high from anywhere else. Coach Smith, that's my guy, man. I love Coach Smith. Coach Smith, you know, he gonna coach you hard every day. You gonna get his best, and he expects your best. He's so professional. He's a great man. Before a coach, he's a great man. He takes care of his family, and we see that. So that's good for us, you know, to as we're growing up as well. We can see how to be a man, also how to handle business. You know, anytime Coach Smith tells us we need to be somewhere, he's there earlier than we are. So you know, he's always accountable, and he just knows a lot about the game. Great guy. My favorite athletes are LeBron James and Aaron Donald. LeBron because it's not even nothing to do with basketball, really. It's just the guy he is off the court. He's never in trouble. He always does everything right. He's such a good family man. He takes care of his family, and he just does everything right. You never hear him in the media doing anything wrong. And also on the court, you know, he's always up against something, but he always comes through for not only himself, but his team, and he's a team guy. Aaron Donald, he's just the best at what he do, and that's the goal, you know, to be the best at what you do. And we play the same position, you know. I don't try to model my game out to anybody because, you know, he's him and I'm me. But, you know, you can learn something from him. He's just different. My favorites gotta be Lil Baby, Polo G, of course, NBA Youngboy. Everybody loves Youngboy now. But people like Lil Uzi and Juice WRLD. In high school, I was heavy on Juice WRLD. Right before he died, he's my favorite artist. I just love music. I love to listen to music. I can listen to music doing anything, you know. It just clears your head, and you can just get lost in it. And by the time you can listen to a whole album, by the time you done thought about it. You can't go wrong with burgers and fries. I mean, I just think that's my favorite. Because if I don't see anything on the menu that I like, I can always just go back to it. And it's hard to mess up a burger. It's so simple. Bread, meat, maybe cheese, a sauce or something. And it's so diverse. You can have a vegan burger, or, you know, it gotta be burgers and fries. If I wasn't a football player, I'll probably be like a physical trainer. I love like the gym and like helping people like lose weight or just get to a weight goal or anything. I'll probably still deal with something like that, or maybe in coaching, you know, something like that. Probably Batman, because Batman is just a regular guy, and he has morals. You know, that's one thing about life. You gotta have morals, and he don't have all these. I can fly. I can read your mind. You know, he does what he does with just based on who he is and what God gave him, which is what everybody else has. He's just a regular person like you and me. In my Hall of Fame speech, I would thank, of course, all of my coaches, you know, my parents, support system, God, but I also would thank myself. A lot of times people get caught up in, you know, try to thank everybody that helped them, but also it's a 50-50 battle. You have to have the drive yourself, and you have to have the self-want to. So also, you know, you gotta at least give yourself some credit. But yeah, I had a great support system, so of course I'll give a shout out to those guys.
Vernon Davis delivered the J.W. Puckett Construction big hit of the game with his crunching shot on kickoff coverage. From full site preparation to turnkey completion of projects including drugstores, car dealerships, worship centers, medical clinics, office buildings, banks, restaurants, and retail stores, J.W. Puckett can and has handled it all. Go to jwpuckettconstruction.com. Gulf Coast tennis coach Sam Blackburn starts his third season in charge of the Bulldogs. We're going to meet his 2023 men's and women's tennis team coming up now.
The women's team last year was a fun one, and they were a young one. They were a young team, and I kept thinking to myself last year I was going to really be excited about the young team being the older team, all those freshmen being sophomores, and now we're there, and it's looking really good. You know, last year's team got third in conference, and that was a pretty good accomplishment for how young we were. This year, I think we can do better, and I believe we will do better for sure. All those freshmen or sophomores, we've got a lot of experience. And we added some new ones to the program, which are looking really good too. So things are looking really solid. We've got an incredible group of sophomores. There's no particular order of anything for who I'm talking about, but Tanya, she is just my Zimbabwean warriors would like to refer to her as. She's feisty. She reminds me of like a future Serena Williams or something like that, just because she's so feisty and just loves the sport. She loves to grind. She loves her tennis. She loves working hard. I see her in the gym on her own. I see her doing all these things, which is just really cool for me to see as her head coach. So expecting big things from her. Going down, no specific order. Ashley Wine, she's a girl that strives for perfection, and I was joking with her the other day that she's going to be the best at whatever she does and whatever career she chooses one day. She's going to be A+ worker, mom, wife, whatever she's doing in her life, and she's a good tennis player too, and I know that I can rely on her to jump in and play, and then she's going to give it her all, and she's not going to be happy when she's not doing her best in all the right ways, of course. Bailey Askin, she's voted captain by our teammates this year. Bailey is one of the most bright and happy people I've ever met in my entire life. Just there's no other way to put it. And whether we're working out at 6 in the morning or running after practice, the girl's got a smile on her face, and she's doing whatever she's doing 100% effort. So can't say enough about her. Hayden Hinsterling, she's just an outstanding young lady that does great at whatever she does. She loves Mississippi Gulf Coast. She loves tennis. She loves her teammates, and she's going to do great at whatever she does in her life. She works hard. She leads by example, and she's a great tennis player. She's gotten better too, and she had some great wins last year. She had to kind of step up in the lineup last year when we had some injuries, and that grew her as a person, as a player, and that's going to pay off big time for her this year. And then Abby is our last sophomore and also captain that we have this year. She's a leader. She's a leader. She leads by example. She works hard. She wants to play tennis all the time. She wants to win at her tennis matches all the time, and she's also doing it with such a great attitude. When she's not having her best day, she's pushing on. She's pushing through and striving to be better the next day or the next time she hits the ball. With the freshmen, starting off with our other international player is Angela, or Angie as she likes to be called. She's from Spain, and the girl's got just a beast of a mindset on the tennis court. She's yelling, she's getting fired up, she gets pumped up so easily, and she's got a heck of a game. She's got a great forehand. She moves well at the net, and she's playing doubles, and I think her and Tanya as a doubles team, which is looking pretty promising, are going to be tough to beat this year. They got to the finals at the region A flight doubles tournament and did incredible. They lost in 3 sets and could have won that match super easy. So excited about Angie. Kendall Byrne is next on my mind as far as our freshman. She's a local girl, and I'm so thankful that I was able to get her. With her being so close to home, I'm glad she didn't want to venture off, because she would be a starter on any team she plays on. The girl works hard. She does what she's supposed to do without any second thought, and whatever she's doing, she does it 100%, does it so well. So that girl's going to go far in her life. I think she wants to be a doctor, and she'll be probably the best doctor in the country if she keeps doing the things she's doing. So excited to have her on the team. Naya Strickland is the next girl that pops into mind. Naya, I was running with the girls one time, and Naya was almost beating me in our races, and actually probably did beat me. And I don't want to say it on camera, but I'll admit to it. The girl's fast, she's quick, she's got easy power, she hits the heck out of the tennis ball, and the girl works hard. day in and day out in the weight room and on the track and on the tennis court. And she's just a happy young lady. I love having her on the team. Gracie Crump is a girl that's been here she's a freshman that's been here for just a couple months, and I've seen massive improvement in just the short amount of time she's been here. She's working hard. She wants to get extra work after practice, and that's the dream, for any coach. So super happy to have Gracie, and can't wait to see how she continues to progress. I think the conference will be tough. I mean, it was tough last year, that I think there's no reason we can't compete to be the best in the conference this year. I think we've got the girls to do it. I think we've got the experience to do it. But it's no easy road. Everybody's good. Everybody can play, but so can we. So I'm excited. Our men's team this year, I'm pumped up about. We've got a good mix of freshmen and sophomores, which is going to add some good experience and youth to the team. I think it's going to really help us in a lot of ways. I think the freshmen are going to learn a lot from the sophomores, and the sophomores are going to be able to lead. These sophomores, I think, are hungry to win after getting runner-up last year at the conference and region tournament, which, sometimes, you can't win them all, and I think sometimes you got to take the losses as ways to pump yourselves up for the next time you get to play, and I think that's what this team's going to do. We're excited to play this year. We got an incredible group of young men, and we're going to be strong, to say the least. So starting off with the sophomores, I like to start out with the guys or girls that come out of the country. Paul Geik, he's from Germany, and Paul has just embraced being here, working hard in this new environment that he's just done so well at, off the bat, and he's continuing to do it. He works hard every day. His highlight, I think, for the whole time he's been here has been when he won the ITA regional tournament in singles and in doubles just a few weeks ago, which qualified him for the ITA Cup in Rome, Georgia, a couple weeks ago. And he'd had a strong performance, and he solidified himself, I think, as one of the best players in the country, which is just really cool to say about a guy on your team. So Paul has done nothing but great things, and he has been a voted captain this year. So super cool for Paul. Anderson is our next captain, and he's actually a third-year guy, which is really special, and it shows how much he loves the school, how much he loves the team, and he does nothing but great things. He's only gotten better since the first day I even saw him hit a tennis ball, and he's continuing to do that. He's solidified himself as one of the best in the conference, and expecting only great things from Anderson this season, and excited to see where he goes afterwards. And whatever coach gets him next, it's going to be super lucky. Kyle Bond is next on my list here. Kyle is a more quiet guy, but he's vicious on the court. He doesn't like to lose. He works hard. He embraces every opportunity he gets. He wants to be the guy that it comes down to in the last match. He wants to play that extra match. He wants to hit that extra ball at practice. And that's just so cool to have, and Kyle, like I said, is not going to be explosively loud on the court, but he's going to be explosive within the tennis ball, which is more important, of course. Oren Ladner is a transfer sophomore this year. I am blessed to have Oren on the team. I've loved the guy since the day I met him, and Oren adds a lot of experience and depth to the team this year. We're so thankful to have him on our roster. Oren's a guy that everybody loves, and he's also a guy that people don't like to play against because he's going to give you everything he's got, and he's also going to play really good. So thankful to have Oren on the team, and excited to see what he's going to do. Last but not least, Chase Bolin. He's probably one of the most funny, hardworking, lovable guys that I've ever met. And I'm going to miss the heck out of that guy, but I know that we'll continue to stay close throughout our lives, because he's just one of those guys that you just can't not love. Chase works hard. He doesn't want things given to him. He wants to go grab them, and he leads so well every single day at practice, and expecting big things from Chase. So happy and blessed to know the guy, and thankful for him to be on this team. With the freshmen, we've got our out-of-state guy, Owen Stice is his name, and he's one of the most talented guys that I know. He doesn't like to lose. He doesn't like to lose tennis points at practice, which is great. And the guy is feisty. I think a good thing to say about him, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. And Owen is a heck of a player. Him and Paul won the ITA regional in doubles, and him and Paul really proved themselves to be one of the best doubles teams in the country this year. There's no doubt about it, and I'm so thankful to have Owen on the team, and the way he's going to continue to improve and just grow as a person, as a player, is going to be impressive over this year. Tristan Hill is the next guy that pops into mind. Another local guy here that says yes sir to pretty much everything I could ever say to him, and does whatever he needs to, and he does it well. Whether we're working out, whether he's picking up the last ball at practice, whether he's running, whether he's doing his homework, he's doing the best he can, and that's so cool. You know, he's a guy that wants to win, that wants to work hard, and that knows things don't come easy, and he's ready for that. John Thomas Frank from Eupora, Mississippi, is an outstanding young man. Big lefty, good serve, good forehand, moves well, is fit, and just an athletic specimen that's going to continue to grind and grow. He's grown so much in just a few months he's been here. So excited to have John Thomas here as a Bulldog, and this big things coming from John Thomas this year. Outstanding young man, does all the right things so well. Can't say enough great things about him. Tucker Smith, local boy. Thankfully, we got all these awesome local guys on the team. Tucker is a guy I've known for a while now, and he's become one of my favorite people on planet Earth. Whatever I tell him to do, he does it with a smile on his face, does it well, and he's only been here for a couple months on the team, just like a few of these other guys and girls, but the growth, not just as a tennis player, but as a person, growing in confidence on and off the court, is something he's shown me, and it's just really cool to see. So thankful for Tucker and his hard work that he brings to the program. Hiram Howard is last here, but certainly not least. Hiram is a beast, to say the least. I tell him all the time when we're in the weight room and he's cranking out pull-ups, he's doing like 50 of them in a row, it seems like, that Hiram, I want to be like you one day. Like he's inspiring for me to see. He works hard, he's fit, he's athletic, he hits the mess out of the tennis ball. You can put him against anybody at practice, anybody in a match, and he's going to give them a tough challenge. Whether he's playing your top guy, your bottom guy, he's out there to beat him 100%. You know, one of my big, I guess, motives that I tell these guys is we play every single match like we're playing for the national championship. I think Hiram does that. He does it mentally whether he's playing a guy that he knows he can beat or a guy that maybe should beat him. He's bringing it all, and big things coming from Hiram Howard this year. Conference is going to be tough. You know, these guys, like I said earlier, they came up, you know, a little bit shorter than they would have liked to last year, but I think that's just going to motivate them to be even better and to just be hungry for it. We've got a stiff competition in the state of Mississippi in our conference. No match comes easy, and that's not going to be different this year. But I think we're ready for it. We want it to be tough. If it was easy, we wouldn't be better from it. We want it to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. We're excited. Wesley Fontaine, can't say enough incredible things about Wesley. He was one of my first players here at Gulf Coast when I took over the program, and whenever he was a player, he was a leader. He was a hard worker. He was a guy that made people better that were around him. He's doing the same thing as an assistant coach. He makes me better. He makes our players better. He makes the program better. He works hard. What an asset he has. So thankful for Wesley and blessed to have him part of the program.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bulldog Blitz. Next week, Gulf Coast will take on East Mississippi here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium. That'll be next Saturday. We'll see you here, and then we'll see you there on Bulldog Blitz.